This time on Blake Builds. Oh, God. This time on Blake Builds, Ollie has no voice. This episode is about hydroseeding. Our lovely swale, Johnny from Gravitas, pops down to make the hydroseeding process crystal clear.
So it's got, that one is French, they're usually in English.
We carry out our daily checks on the plant.
Bashed, knocked about, paint scratched off.
I mean, it's still red in the right parts.
And that is the most important thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like brake calipers, you still want to, see the nice shiny colour.
It's got to be red.
And as usual, Luke, the camera guy, picks the perfect time to start recording.
If you were to sum up your experience on these bays in one word, what word would you choose?
You've picked the wrong day to ask that question.
And here we have a flashback to us actually learning how to do the bag laying of our lovely swale retention pond. This is our ha-ha design. Evan taking his frustration out on the bags. And lots of stacking. Oh look, there's the forks on the tilt rotator that revolutionised the speed of doing this. Oh look, the sun's shining, remember that? I remember this moment, a sense of achievement there.
So we've got Johnny and Owen here from sunny Manchester. They've come down to hydroseed the wall. So they've got a machine on the back of their truck that mixes up a seed mulch, and then they spray that on these bags that are all filled with soil and sand. And then that seed takes and grows, and it'll make a nice vegetated finish on the front, so it'll be a nice green wall. So we've got Johnny here from Gravitas. We did this quite a while ago now, so we want to get it hydroseeded before the winter, don't we? So some of the challenges of what you've got to do. Obviously we've got water in here. So
We've got the water. It's about, I don't know, knee deep in some places, waist deep in others. So we've been out, got waders this morning.
Yeah, so Johnny and Owen are going to be spraying. You can see Owen in the background. He's spraying away now. So
it's quite a distance away.
Yeah. So what's the reach on the
60 metres for the two lines, and of the wall's 160. So we've positioned ourselves in a couple of places to try and get the full coverage. This end's one coat, that end's getting its first coat, and then we'll got another second coat to put on the whole length.
Yeah, got you.
And the culvert at the bottom as well, the far side of the culvert as well.
So ideal conditions for spraying?
This is perfect. Not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Yeah.
So there was a bit of discussion over whether we do it now because it's starting to get colder. But actually, this is ideal. You don't want it too wet so that it
washes off. Yeah. So we've done a few where if it is torrential, you have to just stop what you're doing.
Yeah,
come back at a later date. This weather now is perfect. Whether it gets a bit cold tonight, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a good snap of weather.
Yeah, sure.
And it'll take 3 weeks. You should start seeing some growth. Yeah. 2-3 months, and it'll hopefully all take.
And what's the sort of finish then on it? Is it going to be sort of grasses?
It should just be grass, and then as it weathers and gets a few years old, it'll get hopefully wildflowers and whatever birds bring to the table, really.
Yeah, well
you've got the water as well, so it's never gonna. It should always have. Green.
Yeah, I mean you were saying, weren't you, that the water sort of permeates up through the bags.
Soaks up the bags, yeah.
Yeah, so as long as it's constantly in water, it's going to be absolutely fine. And we've got all this sub base as well, so any runoff that goes into this is going to keep the wall nice and hydrated, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what was the guarantee on the
120 years, grown 120 years is the guarantee on Flex.
Yeah, brilliant. So this Flex MSE system, you get 120 years guarantee, and if it's not hydroseeded, it's down to like...
It's a lot, it's drastically lower.
Yeah. It's like 20 years or something, so it's like 100 years difference in the guarantee, and that's
the root lock system. So it is, the more roots that are in it, the stronger the wall.
Got you. Yeah. And how many of these would you say you do probably a year?
I think last year we did 17 projects.
Yeah.
This year we've definitely doubled that.
Yeah.
There's 2 teams out now.
Yeah.
So we're here, split. We finished the job at the start of the week. We've come here at the end of the week. There's a job filler to see us through to Monday. We're in Kent Monday, but I don't know. I'd say we're pushing 40 projects this year.
Yeah. So you're growing.
Just for us, doubled in size since last year.
You do a lot of install yourself, so all this stuff that we've done, you do. But it must be really nice to be able to see start to finish. You know, when you've built a wall up yourself, and you get to Hydroseed it, and you get to commission it and finish it off.
It is getting there on the first day, a bit daunting, and the shake of the hand on the last day. It is nice to see the job through from start to finish. Yeah, that is, I don't know, part of the enjoyment, I suppose.
Well, yeah,
it's good to come and see a project like this and see it done properly. You know.
Yeah, well, I've not paid him to say that, by the way. He's not.
No, it looks good. It does look good.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll see that on the invoice, won't we?
Yeah.
Big kind words on the invoice. But yeah, it's easy to get wrong, isn't it? You know, but it's taking your time, and we really put a lot of effort. We probably went a bit overkill. We put a level on every single bag, but it does look good now. But it's like the groundworks. You spend all the time putting the drainage in properly, nice and straight and neat and level, and taking your time with it, and then you just cover it up. Yeah. Which is what we're doing here. But obviously,
it does look good. And once it's grown as well, I know it'll eventually become a grass hill, and you'll never see it, but you'll still be able to see the flow of the wall and where it is. And
yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, you'll have the start pictures to the finished pictures. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'll be long gone in 125 years.
Yeah,
anyway,
well, so will I.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Sam, I'll let you crack on anyway.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. It's a bit of a, I don't know, I guess it's a bit of a personal one for me, this is, because this was the first thing that I really fully got my teeth into when I started with Ollie. You know, we got the chaps out to do a bit of training, actually had some hands-on experience. Well, we dug it all out ourselves. We did it all in the iDig. You know, like I say, we went and got the design done. Actually laid a load of the bags. So to now see it come to a completion and get it done is really, really rewarding for me. Especially on a job like this, when you're going to be here 2-3 years maybe. It takes a long, long time to see like a return on your investment.
So it's got, that one is French, they're usually in English.
Is it on the other side?
Maybe. Yeah. So a lot of it is wood chippings, that's what gives it the bulk to stick to the wall. You've got some ceramics, so that's why we've got masks, goggles, gloves.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's 100% biodegradable as well, so once the grass grows, this is what gives it its, I don't know, it's just mulch, isn't it? So
sure.
This is what makes it grow, because it actually grows. I don't know if you can see, it grows without any soil or anything. So when we don't clean this properly, you end up with lawn.
Yeah. So it just takes any moisture it can.
Any moisture it can, and it'll grow just out of this stuff. So the bag is what it roots into. It's just normal grass seed.
So you mix that in with that.
Yeah.
And then is there a level of moisture that you put in here as well?
So we fill it to like the middle line, put a bale in, let it mix up, fill it to the top, put half a bale in. That's our sort of, that's how much of that bales go in.
It's the ratio, yeah.
It's about 6 kilos of grass seed for one mix, and that's 1,000 litres. That's jump start. So obviously gardeners know what all this is.
So and this is what, just like a compound to help it speed the process up, basically.
Yeah, cool.
And then we've got BioPrime there, which is a bit of a wet bag. So this is just like a white powder.
And what does this do?
It's exactly the same as that.
Oh, okay.
So just a different agent.
Sure.
And it all goes in. Obviously we mix it. It takes about half an hour, 35 minutes to get it to the consistency that we want it.
So this is just a big mixer, a bit like the volumetric.
It's like a kitchen mixing
just
bowl.
like a stand mixer.
And then we've got this called tackifier. But just sort of, when we first started doing this, we didn't use the tackifier, but it makes it just a bit more, it's like glue.
Oh, got you,
It comes out a bit stickier. So we get a bit of a thicker coat on the first run, so that when we run over it with the second,
it's got something to bind to, yeah.
And that's just, we just ran out of the other stuff, but
there's a lot that goes into it then.
Yeah, so we went and picked up some more the other day, more bales and stuff, so we were fully loaded to go, but...
Fully stocked?
Yeah, but it takes us about half an hour, 40 minutes to get the mix done.
Yeah, sure.
Get back, so we're looking at, an hour 20 between sprays.
It's the actual spraying doesn't take that long, does it?
It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's this. Putting it all in doesn't take that long, it's just letting it mix up.
Yeah, got to get the right consistency,
Yeah,
I guess.
so it's...
You want to have a little look
very step by step.
Yeah, it can be a bit right.
Yeah. It goes forward and back. When we're spraying, we're pulling it towards the pipe. When we're mixing it, we're pulling it away from.
Fantastic. So you have to be careful around Ollie, because he'll want to start doing this now.
Yeah.
They've got this standpipe as well here, so when you get issued this by like a local
So around
authority,
here
don't
it's
you?
Severn Trent.
Yeah.
When we were in Oxford, it was Thames Water. When we were in Abergavenny, it was Welsh Water.
Yeah.
Up near us, it's United Utilities. So you have to go to their depot, pick it up.
Yeah.
You rent the standpipe, and then you pay for the water taken as well. So
Yeah. So it's got this little like radio meter on it almost, and you can go to a hydrant.
washout.
A washout, not a hydrant. Sorry, they're two different things. So you go to a washout. We've got one just opposite here.
Yeah.
And you can plug into it, and it'll basically it counts how much water.
How many litres you take? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they'll bill you.
They
for
bill
that.
us for the amount taken, but they have a weekly bill on the actual standpipe as well.
Amazing.
Obviously, you've got to fill 1,000 litres. You don't want to be doing it off a hose pipe, do you?
Well, we did that last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Long job?
Yeah, it was quite lengthy. About an hour and a half to fill.
Yeah. So it's not efficient at all, is it?
Not at all. It really was long, but we were on the clean-up of the end of the job, so we could set that off, go and do what we needed to do in the diggers, and then come back to it. And
It's not so bad. But luckily, we've got standpipe, we've got a washout.
Most of the jobs we go on, we use standpipe. It's obviously it is inefficient when you've 1,000 litres out of a tap. It's long.
It still takes quite a while from there, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, to fill it, 1,000 litres is about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just it going, like full trap, but obviously we have to stop it, put the bale in.
Yeah, sure.
So it isn't bad. It isn't bad at all. When the weather's good, this is what you want to be doing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
When it's wet and muddy, it's not what you want to be doing.
It's not ideal. Well, we were talking to the steel erectors, and they said he described it as a test of character in the winter.
But steel erector?
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I can imagine it is. I said to him, I've done a week of it, and this is fine for me. Thank you. Yeah, I'll stick to what
I can imagine.
But no, brilliant.
As our swale is seeded, prepped and waiting for good weather, it's time for our steel frame to be prepped for bad weather. Our productivity turns to conductivity.
So, this chap here is Dale. He is our lightning protection specialist. How you doing?
Oh yeah.
And he is fitting the...
Same.
That's him. That's Dale.
Right,
that's Dale, the man. He's fitting our copper tapes that go onto the steel frame
Yeah.
for lightning protection. So if the building gets struck by lightning, you need to displace all that electricity down to earth. So he's tapping on these copper tapes. So he just drills into the steel column, puts a bolt through, taps these tapes on, and then leaves a tail out. And then these boxes here, he's brought these earth rod boxes for us. So the tapes go into here. We concrete these boxes in and the tapes will come out of there. And then Dale comes back and drives a copper rod into the ground, about 2.5 metres, and connects the tape onto the copper rod. When I inducted Dale this morning, there's a section in the form that says, "What's your occupation?" And I said to him, "Oh, what's your official occupation?" And he said, "Lightning engineer." This is the coolest thing in the whole world.
Incredible.
It's the coolest job ever. So I'll go and show you and we'll have a look at what he's doing.
Brilliant.
It'll be quite loud because Ben's tightening up every single nut and bolt in the whole frame. So makes that lovely sound. He's putting a bit of cutting compound on there, drilling through the steel, and then he's going to connect these tapes that he's got. They're insulated copper tape, and that just taps onto there with a nut and bolt, and then he leaves a tail of that coming out for us to put into those boxes that I just showed you. So these boxes are going to go sort of centered on these columns out here, and you have to be careful whereabouts you put them because of, you know, we've got drainage running along here, so I can't be driving a copper rod 2 meters into the ground. So it'll sit just between this drainage run and the edge of this column, basically, just to the edge of this foundation pad. So it's like a 2-visit thing, really. So yeah, it's relatively simple process, but really important nonetheless. So it's part of the M&E package. So this is actually the first proper M&E, mechanical and electrical thing that we've had done on site so far. So he's just tapping that now so you can run a thread through it. Lightning Strike Limited, can't fault them, good local company.
If you joined us for episode 11, you will have seen our 5-part process to reinforcing and concreting the first 2 bays of Building 1's service yard. The time has come to continue on that journey and finalise the remaining bays. A big shout out to Ryan for finishing the reinforcing ready for concreting while me and Evan were playing with our podgers.
Feeling very philosophical this morning, gentlemen.
You feeling philosophical?
Nothing more I'd want to do than concrete with you.
You've heard of Ministry of Funny Walks, I'm the Ministry of Funny Hats. What were you saying?
I was just wondering why this bit isn't concreted.
Well, because it wouldn't have had enough concrete behind it to have done the same size bay. And it would look a bit funny if we made this one deeper than the others.
Yeah.
So we've cut it out, and when we come back it will drop into it so it looks uniform and nice. Get plenty of reinforcing around it when we do it. So plenty of strength.
You're concreting that bit.
Yeah, well, it's because that's going to get loads of hammer all the time, isn't it? So where it is, so get plenty of reinforcing around it to help support it. There's loads of concrete around it already because we concreted it in.
Yeah.
I said my £25,000 rotor tilt wasn't going to get covered in concrete.
Yeah, didn't you?
And then concrete turned up, didn't it?
Did you view one when you were looking and? Did you view one when you were looking and you saw one with concrete? And you were like,
Yeah.
how can anyone ever?
How
do
can
that?
anyone spend all that money on something and then not look after it? It's terrible, isn't it? Here we are with our bashed, knocked about, paint scratched off.
I mean, it's still red in the right parts,
And that is the most important thing.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
brake calipers, you still want to, see the nice shiny colour.
It's got to be red. It's part of the daily checks, that is. Checks it's still red.
I was thinking, just in that border like that, just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone, isn't it? I don't think it'll push in it. Yeah, I think I'll.
Do you want to put some HVO on it as well, just to...
Yeah, it's gone off too much, I think.
Technical. Capturing some real gold here. Has it worked?
Yeah.
You need a hammer, mate, don't you?
No, I don't think that'll put up with that. It's a shame, isn't it?
Do you want me to stand on it? Eh? Do you want me to stand on it?
I don't know if me.
Just get me a big fat foot on it.
Oh, nice pink socks, Ev. Go on then. Yeah.
Get a hammer out the gator. Looks quite good.
Should we ever go up that end where it's nice and wet? It don't look too bad, does it? Oh.
Put your name to the shittest one.
Hey?
You've put your name to the shittest one. This is an example of another one of the challenges when you're concreting. You think something's way too wet to do anything with, and then all of a sudden it's dry enough and it's actually too dry to do anything with. And you have to wet it back up a little bit. So we're just trying to do the edging with this little edging trowel. Has a curve on it and it sits in, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It sorts the edges out, makes this sort of border. So you brush it first, you float it, tell you what, in order. You pour the concrete, you rake it, you tamp it with a vibrating tamp, then you float it with a telescopic float, and then you brush it with a telescopic brush, and then you do the edges like this. Makes this nice. Ben's doing a great job out of something that's actually really, really difficult to do. I always talk to the camera, but
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying.
that's all right. I was just talking about the process of what we're doing and how concrete's
A fickle friend.
a fickle friend. Yeah, it's one of those things where you can either, like we were waiting and waiting and waiting for it to dry out so that we can do enough with it,
Went to have lunch, the sun came out.
and now it's too dry to do anything with, and we're having to wet it all back up to finish the edges off.
Yeah, it's all
But
right, though.
it's
In
fine.
one respect, it's good because you can wet it back up and work it.
Yeah.
Then people, when you do like burnished or polished concrete, that's what you do.
Oh, is it?
Have a spray bottle of water. And you just keep troweling over it. Keep going until it's fully gone off.
I think I've seen some video. You know when they do the
They do
aggregate on the surface. What's that called?
exposed aggregate.
Exposed aggregate. Yeah. They do a similar thing, don't they?
Or if you do like polished concrete and architectural grade concrete, that's what they do.
But they wet it up after.
Yeah, well, they form it and then they take the forms off when it's green, and they just keep polishing it up until it goes off. Keep going over.
So this is architectural concrete. That's what you're telling me. Yeah?
Architectural quality concrete.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. So
Is this a moment we want to capture on film?
Yeah, I thought it was all about authenticity.
Recovery.
Yeah, what was it you said when the tank floated?
What do they say? A good tradesman, it's not his ability not to make mistakes, it's his recovery from them. Yeah,
It's not a tradesman's ability to not make mistakes.
It's not his ability to not make mistakes, it's his ability to recover from them.
Something like that. Once again, sensational recovery from a sensational tradesman. This is the last of these bays, which is really exciting because once they're finished, we can start loading some material out. When we do this service yard, any clean material like the pavers, we'll probably put a load of ply down and then stack the pallets on here so that we can keep all the material clean. The thing that I learnt was when you order concrete, if I think this is calculated at like 15 cubic meters or something, but I'm not too sure, you can order 8+. So you order a lorry load, 8 cubic meters, and then you say plus, and that means that basically they'll keep coming, they'll give you another full load after that. You don't have to say I need exactly 15 cubic meters, you say 8+, and then you can pour it and then figure it out on the day. So that's what I've just done now. So we've calculated this final bit, and then I've calculated roughly what's left on top of here. So it's about 75 to 100 mil of, it's about 7 meters by 6 meters. So it's just under 8 cubes. Certainly for the last one that we did, it was about 15.5 cubes. So we should only have half a cube of concrete gone to waste. So yeah, it always costs more to concrete than you think.
If you were to sum up your experience on these bays in one word, what word would you choose?
What hard? You've picked the wrong day to ask that question. Because this one isn't going that nicely, really.
I mean, look, it looks lovely.
You have to put something down to protect the other bays. Obviously, if you're running that vibrating tamp on it, there's a chance you can crack the edge, or you can stain it with all the fat that you pull off the concrete. So you have to protect it, but it means you don't get a nice smooth edge to use your finishing trowel against.
Yeah.
So this edging trowel has like a curve on it, and it's meant to make like a nice curved lip on the outside of the slab, but it relies on having a straight edge to run against. So you put it in the end, in the side like that, and then you've got the leading and trailing edge of the trowel, and you sort of, an exaggerated motion is you move it, you know, forwards and backwards like that up against the edge. But if that edge isn't straight and it's all over the place, it's really, really difficult. I mean, you can see I'm trying my best, but I'm gonna have to go over this again. But it's really nice to be able to get a bit, you know, to get this bit finished off. We're a man down today. Ollie's off, he's not very well. Probably coincides with the budget that they've just released, the government. But no, he's got a cold and he's really, really poorly. So he's off. So we're sort of split up into two teams. Got the guys doing the ducting. Ryan and I are trying to finish this off. It's getting up to 4 o'clock, so we've still got quite a bit to do. So I don't seem as cheery about finishing this off as I probably should. But I don't know. Maybe ask me tomorrow.
Next time on Blake Builds.
Ask me today.
Would you prefer it with 2, do you think, Rye?
Not really. We'll have a go, see what happens.
Sorry, I'm not very good at directing you.
It's not that. It's just the pressure of knowing 1,000 people are going to watch me on YouTube. You know what I'm like, I fall to pieces.